Hello and good morning. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of the channel today. You are tuned into Esoteric Guidance, and my name is Nehru. We are going to go ahead and continue with our What's Your Aura book by author Mystic Nishala. Interestingly, we are on page 74. That's an 11. 47 or 74 might be significant for you on your journey at this time. I just got back in from my walk and saw a very interesting sight, and it was a stuffed animal. It was a fairly large, actually, stuffed horse. It was a stuffed horse animal, and so that has a couple of meanings. I remember when I was realizing the betrayal that I was going through, or that had been done. I was just irate. I was livid. I was furious. I was beside myself. Just engulfed in rage at the truth and realization of how much I had poured into these people in that land in Central Florida, and the deception that followed after my unconditional love. I was just, yeah, many Incredible Hulk moments. You know, they say you don't want to make him angry. You won't like him when he's angry, you know. The Incredible Hulk is my favorite fictional character, okay, whatever. For that reason. He's nice and he's courteous and he's tamed up to a point. And you push enough buttons, and you betray him, you lie or deceive in any way, then do not fault him for the rage that comes upon you, for the destruction that comes upon the enemy. And but that horse was reminding me of a couple of things, actually. So that horse symbolizes, one, that it is dead. So, right, the saying of don't beat a dead horse, right? I remember specifically, and it's funny that horse looked that way, and I took a picture, and I'm going to share that picture in the community section of the channel. So those of you who hear this, go to the community section of this channel, probably within an hour or so, and you will see that photo. I took a photo of that horse, and it's just a stuffed animal, a good-sized stuffed horse, just in the middle of the field, okay, just off the walking path at this park that I go to. And again, there are no coincidences, okay? It's 6:41 Mountain Standard Time in the United States, and it is 83 degrees, okay? And so again, there you have an 11, okay? We're on page 74, and you have an 11, and 1041 is also an 11. I can't make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. There's 3 confirmations for an 11, and I am a Master Builder 33 because of the date that I was born on and the year, which that is how you calculate your Master Builder number if you happen to be a Master Builder 11, 22, or 33. And so no coincidence there with those 3 sets of 11, all right? And so divine timing is at work. And so with that horse, I remember at some point I remember I saw that I had, whatever I had, a sledgehammer, a bat, or whatever it was, and I was just swinging at this horse. And then I realized that the horse was actually a stuffed animal. Okay, so what does a horse represent? Okay, so a horse represents travel. Okay, and so since the beginning of man and beast, man has used the horse as a means of travel. Man has used the horse far longer, far longer than man has used an automobile or any other form of transportation. Okay, so the horse represents travel, represents journeying. Okay, so whatever that horse was, that horse is dead. Whatever that means of travel, means of moving, or whatever, that is dead. Also, I had a dream about my uncle Emmett, who was, again, in that dream the other day, sleeping, laying in bed. They were asleep, but laying in bed with my sperm donor, with Kevin's wife, Janet. Okay, so Emmett is very significant for me on this journey. You might know Emmett, right? We know Emmett Till. We know the story of Emmett Till. There's Emmett Smith. I've had a dream about Emmett Smith and hanging out with him. He's a Gator. Go Gators. I'm a Gator fan. Don't tease me about that. I know we haven't done anything since the Tim Tebow era, but that's okay. We've been rebuilding for 18 years. And 18 might be significant for you. Tim Tebow came out. He was drafted in 2008, so that might be significant for you. And so, yeah, you might know a Timothy, or a Tim might be closely connected to you. It's 6:44. So let's go ahead and get going with our reading today. We are on the chapter 2 of this book, What's Your Aura? Learning your color and what it's meant, or what it means, and how you can embrace your unique energy signature. Okay, auras and spiritual and psychic connections. Your spiritual body, as you will come to see, is just as essential as your physical one. In fact, it's more essential, right? Because that's the part of you that can become immortal. Your physical body will never be immortal, right? That's why even I use things to keep it healthy and healthy looking. Okay, your spiritual body houses your aura and is a sort of extension of you into the various unseen planes of the universe where ethereal wisdom and guidance are found. You may call this guiding wisdom spirit, God, the divine, or any other word that feels right. Your aura allows you to experience spiritual connection with this force and send and receive psychic messages to and from it. How does it work? Everything in the world around you gives off a frequency, and your aura is constantly communicating with these frequencies. It is the attention to these frequencies that will release your heightened ability or intuitive power to decipher and work with them. The gifts you inherently have through your intuition can be unlocked even further as you journey into your aura and its connection to spirit and psyche. The foundation for that is meditation, by the way. I don't know if she'll mention that, but that's the foundation. Okay, you can't just jump into psychic connections and that sort of thing. You have to have your chakras, your energy sources aligned and cleared and activated first. Through delving into your aura, you can manifest intuitive abilities in clairvoyance, which is the ability to see, clairsentience, which is the ability to hear, empathic abilities, and claircognizance, which is the ability of knowing or in wisdom. Okay. In this chapter, you will get to know your spiritual self and expand your connection with the universe around you. Okay. So what your aura says about you. Each aura connects to spirituality in unique ways. Red auras value logic over anything else, and a common error they can make is to think that logic is somehow separate from intuition. The way into the red aura's sixth sense comes by the way of instinct and or a gut feeling. They may describe it as a primal knowing or an obvious tell based on constant logical strategies that they have come to rely on in their entire lives. So I am reminded of, this morning I woke up at 3:20, yeah, something like that. I don't remember the exact, it was before 3:30. And I started a meditation at 3:47, okay? I woke up this morning, wrote down the dream that I had, and I saw a picture of Kaylee. I'm probably not going to say her name right. Kaylee Kuko, is that her name, from Big Bang Theory? The blonde-haired female from Big Bang Theory. And I looked at her picture and I said, I bet she's a Sagittarius. I just looked at her picture, right? It was a picture, I think, on Instagram. I don't know. I don't follow her. But it was some blurb or something. And she was with a baby. I guess it's her baby boy, I guess. I don't know. And I just looked at the picture and immediately I thought Sagittarius. She's a Sagittarius. I looked up her birthday and sure enough, she's born on November 30th. Okay. I don't remember what year. Let's find out in case it's pertinent for your journey. Alexa, what year was Kaylee Kuko born?
Kaylee Kuko was born on November 30th, 1985.
November 30th, 1985. So 1985 might be significant for you. 85 or 58. Okay? And I just looked at that and I just immediately felt Sagittarius energy from her. Sagittarian energy. Okay? So that is claircognizance. Okay? That is, I just knew that. Okay? And I kind of laughed and smirked when I looked it up and saw that it was November 30th. Yeah, it's in my birthday is November 29th, right? But yeah, right? So there might be, again, there's an 11. There's an 11-year difference between her and I, okay? So 11, and then the 1 day. So 111. 111 might be significant for today, okay? Maybe we need to look at that angel number. Okay. They may describe, and this is red aura still, they may describe it as a primal knowing, see, or an obvious tell based on consistent logical strategies that they have come to rely on their entire lives. Sorry, my mind went somewhere else and then I took my eyes off of where I was. A healthy dose of skepticism moves the red aura to sit back and observe all the people they meet, always looking for the angle at which others operate. In their attempt to study behavior and find underlying motivations, they may not be in line with the words they hear. They are, in fact, connecting with their intuitive self. They can pick up on psychic feelings and vibrations, but label them as character flaws or simply as a general personal dislike. They can use their cues to simply know, which is a form of claircognizance. Cognizance, Z, it's not C or S, cognizance, or clear knowing. And communicating with the paranormal, or intelligent energies that attempt to cross into our earth planes, red auras will often experience more physical feelings. Feeling physically ill, nauseated, I've definitely feel that from time to time, and depending on where moon cycles and things like that. And sweaty, yep, may also be ways a red aura senses they are not alone when, for all logical purposes, they are. The red aura needs to believe to see. But once they do, it's hard to sway them from their own spiritual experiences. That's right. Nobody can talk me out of what I know, what I see, what I hear, what I feel. Okay. Blue. Okay. So blue auras are conduits for spiritual energy, and they readily make themselves available for this in any way they can, creating opportunities to comfort those in a crisis. Excuse me. Oh, yawn for confirmation, or yeah, give out something needed, or simply hug a person who feels lonely in this world is how they make this spiritual connection. Blue auras live to feel the glow. That is, the feeling they sense someone receiving when they've been validated, seen, and shown unconditional love for no other reason than pure, no strings attached kindness. Again, it is wise for us to give without expectation of receiving anything back in return from human beings. Okay? That glow is spirit, or the intelligent force that governs the universe. Blue auras often find comfort in living among energies not on this plane. Therefore, they often find it easy to communicate with loved ones on the other side, or acknowledge, their angelic helpers. Okay, I talk to my ancestors. I have conversations with Odessa. She's my sperm donor's mother. She's a protector of me. With Berlin, both the uncle and the grandfather. I communicate with my brother Matthew, who passed on 8/4 of 2021. I communicate with, there's another Matthew that I communicate with. He's a child that, or a seed that was not here physically very long, and he was returned back to highest divine white light for more esoteric work or what have you from above. Okay. Who else? Communicate with my friend Marsha, who passed on 1/28 of 2020. 2 days after Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash. The number 9 might be significant for you. That's the number of people who were on that helicopter that day. Also, Gigi might be significant for you. Let's see. Anyone else? Yeah. In fact, with Marsha, I was thinking about something again before my meditation this morning. She was a clown, and again, at some point, her countenance changed. I don't know when it changed, but it changed at some point, and she became more of a victim of this 3D matrix, I would say, okay, at some point. But yeah, okay. Definitely speak with those esoteric beings. Talk to extraterrestrial beings, and yeah, I communicate with I talk to the spirit of Saint Germain, the spirit of Nikola Tesla. I talk to these, and that's how I address them, the spirit of whoever that being is. There's something about Gail. Again, Gail and Aaron are the people that I am currently renting from. I just saw something on Echo about Gail's playlist. Blue auras do this through keeping memories alive. Feeling the presence, that's what I was doing with Marsha this morning. When I was first at the Rock of Central Florida, when I got there in 2003, again, anything I mention may be significant for you. We had a softball team for the first couple of years there. And one of the things that she used to cheer, it was hilarious. And it was, I don't know. I think maybe at the time I found it a little embarrassing or something. I don't know. But she was like, whenever I would get up to the plate to bat, she was like, she made up some weird, silly saying. And it was like, go with all your might. You're my mighty big black knight or something retarded. And she would literally sing this from the bleachers. And it was, today I laugh, and I laughed this morning at 3 something when I was thinking about that memory, and I laughed out loud. And I just said, you're silly. I just said, you're silly. Yeah. So that's a memory that I have with her that, yeah, she was a phenomenal cook. Phenomenal. She was chef level cook, okay? And again, that may be significant for you. You might be a chef level cook, or coming into relations with platonic or romantic with someone who's a chef or has that level of cooking ability, okay? Blue auras do this through keeping memories alive, feeling the presence of those who passed on. My third eye is like do. And feeling their intuition to ask a stranger, or following your intuition to ask a stranger if they need any help. I do that. In their selfless ability to help and see those who need a loving touch, blue auras are channeling the energy of the universe itself. Yellow. This is beauty in the details. Fine points, and that's Fine, fine points in which the divine rests quietly, waiting to be noticed by the one with the discerning eye. Yellow auras see the energy of the universe in these places, connect with the spirit while they do so, and structure a world in which others can experience this same magnificence. Yellow auras like to connect to loved ones who have passed by memorializing something that was important to them for future loved ones to experience. Their intuitive voice alerts them to the things that have been overlooked, as they have a bit of a detective's eye when it comes to seeing the world in puzzles, patterns, and missed opportunities. Leaving no stone unturned, they seemingly tidy up as they go, and in doing so, they reveal truth where it was once hidden. Yellow auras channel their psychic abilities or skills via their curious voice. Questions are the fuel that propels their journey. The feeling of something being off with a friend's boyfriend, or questioning feeling as they browse through accounting papers. I was in a tax accountant for 13 years. Also, I will be sharing part 2 of divine and karmic relationships today. I posted part 1 yesterday. I will be sharing part 2 of that, and yeah, so if you are interested in discerning between divine relationships and the synchronicities of it, and karmic relationships and the synchronicities of those, stay tuned for that video, okay? Or come back for that video. Browse through accounting papers and are actually the yellow aura's intuition picking up those energetic ends that cry out to be tied. So with my former friends. One of them has a daughter whose name is Alyssa. She's 28. I believe her birthday is in June. And Alyssa, she has two sons, Theodore and Jonas, I believe. Jonah. Yeah. Jonah. And she got married. It was the only social event I went to last year before I left Florida in August. I went to her wedding. She got married to a gentleman whose name is Jacob. Okay. But earlier this year, I got the sense that they were no longer together, and I reached out to her, and sure enough, they had gotten a divorce already. And again, that's within a year. Okay. I also am aware of another couple who got married and shortly thereafter got a divorce. The name of the male, his name is Ian, I-A-N. The female's name is Daphne, okay, like the Scooby-Doo character, okay? So any of those names might be significant for you. Daphne is a Scorpio. I don't know what Ian's sun zodiac sign is, okay? But those two marriages ended very quickly. Okay, again, that might be significant for you. Their psychic gifts, and this is again yellow energy, their psychic gifts grows when they follow these tugs to their sources and build their confidence to continue valuing the questions that fill their minds. I'm also reminded of another situation when I was in Florida. I was at a Publix, okay? And this is before my dark night of the soul. I was at a Publix in Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach might be Daytona Beach, what have you. Or the beach may be significant for you. And I was at it when it was a Sunday. I remember I just come from service at the Rock of Central Florida, where I was for 20 years before, again, going through my dark night of the soul and leaving religion for good. And betrayal happened there also. And I remember standing in line at the deli, deciding what I was going to get from their whatever, right? And a lady, hear the dog barking? That dog's name is Rocky. Okay. And so I'm standing in line, and this lady comes up, and she mentions something about, oh, did she say, like, have you ever tried that, or have you ever something like that? And I was like, oh, no. She was like, oh, okay. She was like, I wonder if my mother would like it. She's not doing, she just starts up this conversation, she's not doing well and blah, blah, blah. And again, I was already aware of how divine appointments happen. I was already aware about divine appointments. I have divine appointments. And so you also have divine appointments, whether you recognize them or not. And so she says, yeah, my mother's not doing well. My sister's looking after her right now, but I'm up from, was she up from Palm Beach or West Palm Beach or something? Palm Beach, maybe not Palm Beach, maybe West Palm Beach. She was up in Daytona from somewhere in South Florida. Okay, it's 7:07 on the timer and 83 degrees. And I was like, oh. So my former wife, okay, whose name is Tina might be, and her middle name is Laverne. That might be, either one of those names might be significant for you. And she has been a home health care provider for a number of years, in addition to her 9-to-5 job, okay? In fact, I helped her establish Southern Hospitality. That's the name of the company. That's her company, right? That she does her own personal home health care through. And confirmation with whatever that is running across the ceiling of the RV or roof of the RV. And so we were no longer together, okay? But me being the unconditional lover that I am, I gave her a referral. I said, oh, your mother's here in the area. I know someone who actually provide this service, and I spoke highly of her. They are exceptional. They are this, they are that. She's anyway, so I did again. I'll be nice. So I gave her that referral, okay? And so those divine appointments and things like that, be open-minded for those things, okay? And for those opportunities, okay? Following that tug that this book is mentioning, the tug, and build that confidence to continue valuing the questions that, that come about or that you're presented with, okay? So purple aura, I think we'll do the purple aura and we will stop there because we're just past 31:31 on the clock. Okay, 31:13 might be significant for you. Okay, that also could be 62:26. Ironically, 13 and 13 is also 26. Okay, so you see how that happens? 31 plus 31 is 62. Okay, transposed, that's 26. 13 and 13 is 26. That's how my mind works with numbers in numerology. That's how it works. Confirmation with the dog bark. Confirmation. So let's get to the purple aura and then we will go again. Stay tuned for that relationship video. And also, obviously, we're sharing too the book of Jubilees. Okay? So purple aura, the veil is thin between this world and the next for a purple aura. The ability to jump into others' energies for the purpose of grasping, somebody's gasping, grasping the person's perspective is quick and often very accurate. They tend to watch others like a movie, observing and understanding, but not always holding what they feel and see with the same depth of emotion. Somebody saying, let's walk. Oh, I'm reminded yesterday, I got the download yesterday. This is going to be funny. I got the download yesterday. I didn't get this part. I got the second word, okay, which is underlay, okay. So we know, where those of you who are familiar with old school cartoons, 70s, 80s cartoons, Speedy Gonzales, okay, would say, arriba, underlay, okay. And the word, the download I got specifically was underlay, which means to come on, hurry up, let's go, come on, go, come on, let's go forward, hurry up, right? That's what underlay means, okay? So highest divine white light, Holy Spirit, it's 7:11 on the timer. Underlay, let's go. That's a 19, that's an 18, and so 99, there might be something significant about 99 or 1999, right? What they see, okay. Because of this, purple auras, because of their ability to understand perspectives without absorbing them to the point of emotional exhaustion, confirmation verbs, they hover above the emotional limitations that hold others back when delivering intuitive feelings with accuracy. Purple auras Don't hesitate to say they can't trust your friend, or they think the couple they just saw get married won't last more than a year. Isn't that interesting that I mentioned that? Isn't that interesting that I just mentioned that? They simply know, and when proven right in times, they tend to gain more confidence in their intuitive voice. So I'm going to use another example of this. When I got to the Rock of Central Florida, Salt Lake City, Utah has been awarded the 2034 Olympics. When I got to Florida, to the Rock of Central Florida out of the military in 2003, I got connected to them energetically, esoterically in 2002. But when I physically arrived in 2003, there was a gentleman there. He was a teenager at the time. His name is Alex, okay? Or Alexander. Confirmation. The dogs are talking today. And there was someone there who happens to be the senior minister's daughter-in-law, niece. Her name is Sarah. Again, Alexander or Sarah might be significant for you. Okay? And I remember I shared with Sarah at that time that I saw that her and Alex were going to be married. Okay? And she was like, what? I'm not even talking to him, or I don't even, something she said, right? Today, Alex and Sarah are married. Okay, and they have four children, I think. I believe 4. Okay? 3 or 4. I can't remember. All their families are intermingled, and the children and all that, so I can't remember, right? I remember the younger children, but the older children, but the younger children, I get I get that confused, especially having been removed from that for a couple of years. I don't remember. But yes, okay. And so I remember her being upset about that, and I remember sharing that with Marsha at the time. Sure enough, they are married today, still, and they've been married now for, man. Me and Alex were actually roommates for a time. They got married probably in 2006 or 7, probably 6. Yeah, no, 7, probably 7, okay? And so they've been married now for, what is that, 17 years or something like that? They've been married for quite some time, okay? So where are we at? Purple auras have a better ability to see past the world and will receive visions or random downloads of information without even trying. They often clairvoyant or see clearly or clear seeing due to their enhanced third eye abilities. Because they are so easily approachable energetically, again, I was a counselor to many clients. You know, I always said I should have had a couch in my office and not 2 chairs in front of my desk. Okay? Paranormal, approachable energetically, paranormal beings tend to be very attracted to them. The purple aura has many supernatural stories and experiences, and while they know others won't ever believe them, it never shakes their own faith in what they know to be true. And so when I told Sarah about the union that was happening between her and Alex, it didn't matter to me, and I don't even know if she remembers that, you know. It doesn't matter to me whether she believed me or not. I just, okay. Also, another example before I go, another example is when I was a headhunter, I was recruited for a third-party recruiting firm in Maitland, Florida, and during the Great Recession of the late 2000s, and there was a woman there whose name is Sonia, okay, And Sonia has a mouth, or had a mouth on her. We all have one, but you know what I mean when you say, "Ooh, he got a mouth on him. She got a mouth on her." That means they say there's no filter there. That means they say shit just to be hurtful. Okay. And I remember going to her one day, and we had a good we had a good friendship. Okay, we had a good friendship, and I went to her, and Holy Spirit had told me to tell her that and she was a very attractive woman. I think she's Spanish, Latina. Yeah, Latina. That might be significant for whatever reason. She is Latina, and I remember she was engaged at the time to be married to a gentleman who she had been dating for a long, long time, like maybe a decade or something. At that time, she had a young son. That was their only child, a young son. And I remember telling her that God told me, and she was something of a believer, religious albeit, but she was. And even back then, to some degree, I was. Again, I was a part of a religious organization. And I told her, the Father told me to tell you that you are very beautiful, but locusts come out of your mouth when you speak. And she looked at me like, oh. Then she said, you're not the first person to tell me that. So she was aware of her throat chakra being out of alignment, being of dark energy. She was aware of that. Whether or not she recognized it as a throat chakra issue or not, I don't know. Okay? But she's told me, she confirmed immediately, other people, you're not the first to tell me that. So she was aware of the nastiness that came from her voice through her throat chakra. Okay? And this is a coworker at the time. All right? So thank you so much, as always, for being a part of the channel, for sharing your energy with us, regardless of where you are in your journey. Okay? Light energy, dark energy, or what have you. Thank you. Okay? Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. And again, stay tuned for the soon coming videos today. And as always, be encouraged.